Have you ever wondered why modesty is important? That's a very good question. Let's talk about it. For one, I want you to understand and remember that modesty is much more than just clothing. Modesty not only has to do with our clothes, but the way that we speak, we act, and the way that we think. But the reason for why modesty is so important is because, for one, God calls us to humility. And being immodest or a lack of modesty is also a lack of humility. And as the scriptures say, God opposes the proud, yet he exalts and gives grace to the humble. But another reason why, specifically dealing with clothing, is because we don't want to place a stumbling block between our brothers and sisters in Christ. Modesty, by the way, is both for men and women. And we as Christians should not willfully dress in a way to lead others to sin. Because the scriptures also say, woe to the person through whom the stumbling blocks or the temptations come. And the scriptures also say it's better for us to limit our freedom or our liberty rather than causing our brothers and sisters in Christ to stumble. There's a difference between somebody having a lack of control and them needing to discipline themselves versus you should just change your clothes. Or in other cases, you should just put some clothes on. There are certain things that we as Christians should not wear or show because it's going to cause our siblings in Christ to stumble. In other cases though, yes, sometimes people just need to exercise some self-control and deal with lust. Another reason for why we ought to be modest is for the sake of holiness and being set apart. God calls us to holiness and to be holy as he is holy. And in being holy and set apart, we should also be very careful with the way that we dress, the way that we speak, the way that we act, and naturally, of course, the way that we think. There's already a gazillion mixed signals that are being given out by Christians every single day. Let's not add on to the mix. But again, keep in mind, modesty goes far past just clothing, but also gets into our speech, our actions, and the way that we think. But I hope this gave you some food for thought, and the Spirit of God spoke to those who he needs to speak to. If you want more content like this, just go ahead and drop a sub or a follow. And if you'd like to hear more teachings from me that are outside of short form content, I want to invite you to my Bible class, which is every single Thursday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern on Google Meets.